when it's sitting in the right hand corner, it's not just eating up CPU cycles. So let me apply it. Okay, so let me explain what just happened. This is actually showing every single object that this page requests. So first it's the HTML page, the CSS, some JavaScript files, some images, and once again, as I hover over images, it actually shows you the image and its dimensions. And you could actually, I thought you could, there is a way to actually right click and actually copy the image location. On the right hand side here, and actually in the middle here, it actually shows you how long each object takes to get to actually download. So actually, let me reload this page from scratch. Okay, as you can see, there's 37 different items that are being pulled for this page. The whole page is 323 kilobytes in size, and it took 1.41 seconds to come in. And here you see a nice little graph of each object as it's coming in. The blue line is when the DOM was actually loaded, and the red line is when the load event actually took place, so the page load happened. And you can see where how long everything took. Red means queued. Gray actually means how long it took to get the data. So this took 56 milliseconds to get, and it was queued for 140 milliseconds. Now, when I reloaded the page, I reloaded it from scratch. So this thing was 323 kilobytes in size. I'm just going to hit refresh again. So now some of this stuff is actually cached in my browser. Now it's actually going to show how many of these kilobits came from cache. This is great for a developer. You get to see, okay, someone comes to my site. Let's say they've never been to the site. Of course, your first page should and probably will be the heaviest. After that, if you're recycling images all around the place, you're using the same CSS, you're using the same JavaScript files, most of your pages will become very light. So if I had been to the Firebug page before, when I come in the second time, I'm only actually downloading 3K new to get to this page. Interesting to see that, actually physically see that here, knowing that. It's pretty cool. If I actually click on any of the objects here, it shows the headers, the response, and the cache. Cool thing, if you look at the HTML, which is the first item always in the network console, in the headers you can actually see some cool things about the website. You can see what server they're being served up on. In this case, it's Apache running on Red Hat. You could see if they're using compression. So they're using gzip to make the pages lighter. As you come in, you see stuff about yourself. I'm using Mozilla. So this is and here's the actual response. The response in this case is I'm looking at the HTML page, so the response is the actual HTML. Let's do this with, let's get a decent size image here. The header PNG file. See the same type of information here, and the response is the image. Let's go back here. What else could we do? On any one of these, let's say I wanted to grab everything from the body tag in. I could right click, copy the HTML. Let me bring up Notepad for you so you can see what happens. So this actually gives me all the HTML from the body tag in. Now let's say I wanted to get, if I did copy inner HTML, it's copying everything except the body tag. It's everything inside of it. So in this case, we should start with div ID equals main. And there we go. It starts with div ID equals main. I think one other thing that I can show you, which I haven't, is that you can actually turn items on and off. Here's a couple things. as I'm hovering over divs, images here, one they show, but also they start highlighting on the page themselves. So I could see that this P class is that blue area right there. This div is actually right up top here, so let me show that off. Let me turn off the this min screen. I could turn off the background color, the float left, margins. I want to do something actually pretty. See if I can do something. No, well, actually, there we go. As I change the font weight on the A tag for the whole site, you see all the results. Like I said, it's a great development tool. Saves you a lot of time. You get to load up your website, make changes on the fly right here, get them right. You know, let me say on every A tag, I want to move them slightly to the right. So let me see. I'll add a margin left of 10 pixels. So now all of them move slightly to the right. As you can see, some of them hit the, like this learn more hit the edge and came up and got moved. Any given time, any changes that I'd make, I could just actually reload the page. Everything actually goes back to normal. See? Let me create a new property. Let's do 1 pixel. As you see, even just adding 1 pixel screwed everything up. So make it 0 pixels. Let's make it margin right. 1 pixel. Once again, everything just gets shifted over. And like I said, if you hit up and down arrows, it increases the numbers by a pixel at a time. This is for all the developers that are trying to get pixel perfect development, so that the designer doesn't call you over to his desk and say, why the hell isn't this horizontal rule exactly lined up with that text? This allows you to do that. Great tool. I guess the only sad thing about it is that they don't have, I haven't found anything similar for Internet Explorer. But then again, hopefully Firefox will end up with a big enough market share that no one will ever care about that anymore. Last thing, once again, it's getfirebug.com. They actually, if you actually go to the site, they actually show you all the different ways you could use this tool. I've only shown you a small portion of it, the portions that we use the most. Come here, you actually learn about all the different ways you could use it for development. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next week with another screencast in the web development series. Have a good evening. If you have any ideas you'd like to see shared, please contact us at share@localwisdom.com and follow us on twitter.com/localwisdom. And once again, this podcast was brought to you by Local Wisdom Inc., where we've been producing smart, healthy, and happy websites for over 10 years.